versus the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Tony versus the World. I am your humble and gracious host, Tony, and we are here to answer some questions that you guys have been asking me. All my friends have been asking me, all my family, everybody has been asking me about my latest trip to Costa Rica. So here we're going to talk about the cost, what I needed to do to get there before I got there, how much everything cost, my Airbnb, my rental car, the whole 9 yards, all of that stuff, and these couple of quick minutes. So stay tuned. We got a couple of important information for you guys, so let's go. Okay, so just to answer your first question real quick, the trip, the cost, it really didn't cost that much. That's why it made financial sense for me to actually do this during Christmas time, which is kind of crazy. I know when everybody still has to pay bills and buy presents and all that type of stuff, it still made financial sense for me to do this. So I actually went to Liberia, Costa Rica, and if you Google it, Liberia is right near San Jose, the main city in Costa Rica where everybody goes. So I picked Liberia in particular because it was actually between two places that I actually really wanted to go. One was the beach, and two was the volcano, believe it or not. And if you watch my videos, you know that I actually didn't get to go there because they closed the trail because the volcano had actually shown some seismic activities and they didn't want people going near there. Understandably, I get it. I still wanted to see it though, and I'm still mad that I didn't get to see it. But so I went to Liberia, Costa Rica, and it really wasn't that expensive. So good transition. Let's get into that. The flight, full transparency here with you guys. I fly a lot. You guys know that already. And the flight really didn't cost me that much. I actually only had to pay taxes. So I used my miles that I've accumulated over the last, I don't know how long, and I didn't have to pay anything. I just had to pay the taxes, which was about $80. So we're going to keep a running total here, and we're going to start right here. So it cost me about $80, and that wasn't really too much, so I was good there. For comparison, I checked actually coming from the West Coast and even some flights for the East Coast. Getting to Liberia was about $400. So you can keep that in mind if you guys were ever thinking about going. So I got my $80, and actually before I got there, we're going to talk about what I had to do before I actually got there. And number one, the first thing is I had to get what they call a health pass. And a health pass is basically just saying I wasn't exposed to the virus, you know, yada, yada, yada. You guys have done stuff like that before. You guys already know what it is. So what I had to do was upload my medical insurance to the website, which I'm going to provide for you here. And I'm going to provide for you in the link in the description below, so you guys don't have to go running around searching for it. So once I uploaded my medical information or my medical insurance to the website, they specifically told me that my medical insurance needed to have at least $50,000 worth of coverage. And the crazy thing about that is my insurance company, they didn't have anything that specifically said $50,000 or anything like that. So actually, they just wrote me a letter that said basically my coverage didn't have any limit whatsoever, and that was sufficient. I just called them on the phone because I couldn't find anything on the website to satisfy what they were looking for. So once I called them on the phone, explained the situation, they shot me over a letter through my email, and I uploaded to the website. I was good on that front. Alright, so I had to get lodging insurance as well, and the lodging insurance was if I got sick, it had to extend past the time that I had already rented the Airbnb, so I'd had somewhere to stay if I got sick while I was in Costa Rica. And that insurance had to be somewhere up to $2,000, or it had to be minimum $2,000. So at the airport, of course, they have some place that you can buy these insurance documents so you can upload them. Well, of course, I could have bought them before I got on a plane, but I did this at the last minute, so I didn't really get a chance to do that. So when I got to the airport, they actually ushered me out of the line, out of the people that already had done their documents line, into the people that messed up line, so to speak. And I had to go to this other side of the terminal and actually fill out a form and put my credit card in. It really took me about 5 minutes, it really wasn't that big of a deal. And like I said, it was about $28 for the insurance. And once I did that, I had my little barcode on my phone. I walked back into the line where all the people that had their insurance and everything, they scanned it, and I was good to go. They stamped my passport, and I just walked away. It was really that easy. So don't be afraid to go. So that same document that I had, the health pass with the barcode, I actually had to show that before I got on a plane in Miami. And then again, they made me show it to them when I was in, when I first got to Liberia. So it was pretty easy, you know, wasn't nothing crazy that I had to do. Wasn't nothing super expensive. They also had medical insurance that you could buy there to satisfy their requirements too. And I forget how much it was, but I think the total, I checked if I had to get lodging insurance and medical insurance from them, I think the total was about $70. So either way, even if I still had to do both, it wasn't that big of a deal. It wasn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. It was only for 4 or 5 days or something like that. So that still wasn't that big of a deal. Okay, so the next big thing I had to pay for was my rental car. And you definitely 100% need a car while you're in Costa Rica. So I bought a rental car through a third-party website. And the third-party website actually said they were going to charge me about $130, $140 for taxes, something like that. But man, what I was in for a surprise when I got there, and I'm pretty sure I wasn't the only one. Matter of fact, there was a couple people in the same rental car company. It's this dollar rental car that were going through the same particular thing that I was going through. And what happened was the third-party rental car wanted to charge me about $130, something like that, but they neglected to tell me, or maybe they put it in a fine print, whatever it was, they neglected to say out front that you have to pay for a whole bunch of extra fees and taxes and insurance, extra insurance that Costa Rica requires you no matter what to get. So my $138 or $130 some rental car turned to like $296, which was kind of crazy, and that really kind of made me upset when I got there. But it was like, to go find another rental car, to go back to the airport, go find another rental car company, negotiate with them, figure out how I was going to do this and that. I mean, I really just had to pay it and suck it up. So my rental car cost me about $296, and we're going to put that up here too, add that to the total. Gas really wasn't that much. So believe it or not, I don't know how to drive a manual stick shift car, but I do know how to drive a motorcycle, which obviously is manual. So I figured, you know what? The manual is cheaper than the automatic. Let me just go get the manual and I'll figure it out. It can't be that hard, right? Of course, I don't know why I thought that. But anyway, so I actually figured it out, believe it or not. It's really not that hard. Those of you who can drive a motorcycle, you can drive a stick shift car. It's really not that hard. It's just switching your hands to your feet. So anyway, I got the manual car, which made it a little bit cheaper. If I would have got the automatic, it would have been like $330 or $340 or something like that. So I tried to make this as cheaply as possible. And the gas for the manual car cost me about $36 for the whole entire time. So whatever that car was, I don't remember exactly what type of car it was. It was a Nissan something, whatever it was, a small type of car. It was super good on gas. So the whole entire time, I probably used about 3/4 of a tank, and I paid about $36. I don't remember how much it was in colognes, but I paid about $36 to fill the whole tank back up when I gave the car back. So add that to the list, $36 in gas. And let's see, what else? Of course, how could I forget my Airbnb? My Airbnb was one of the cheapest expenses that I had, and I actually paid $140 for this particular Airbnb. Now granted, it wasn't a 5-star place. You know, I knew I wasn't going to be there that much, so I super skimped on my lodging for these couple of days while I was in Costa Rica. This was actually in a okay neighborhood. It's right where all the people were. You guys saw it in some of the videos. It looked like I was in a garage or something crazy. It really wasn't that bad, I promise you, I promise you. But it cost me $140, so add that to the list. And if you guys can check it out here, the total was about $570. It was less than $600 for me to go to another country for about 4 or 5 days. And was it worth it? Of course it was. I got to do a bunch of things. Oh, let's not forget the park. Going into the park cost me about $15–16, and that was it. The beaches were free, and I paid to eat, you know, some spending money here and there, but I spent less than the $50 to eat the whole entire time. Everything was cheap and good at the same time, so I can't complain. Again, going someplace for about $600 for about 4 or 5 days, that's a good deal in my book. So hope that answers some of you guys' questions. If you guys have any more questions or suggestions, or you want to know anything else in the world about this particular trip that I took, please let me know. Drop a like, drop some comments, whatever you need to know. Let me know, and I will talk back to you. But as always, for now, this version of Tony the World is over. And come back next time, because you know we always got more. Let's go.